Trials are a part of life. We've been spending this week on the Glendale Devotional Podcast addressing this issue of trials. There may be someone listening right now that's going through a great difficulty. I pray that today's devotion will be an encouragement to you as we face these trials, knowing that God is in complete control of our lives.
Blessed is the man who endures temptation, for when he has been approved, he will receive the crown of life, which the Lord has promised to those who love him.
So let's continue with this powerhouse verse. For when he has been approved. King James says when he's tried. Christian Standard Bible says when he has stood the test. The word is dokimos. And in their Greek-English lexicon of the New Testament, Johannes Liu and Eugene Albert Nida gave certain usages of the word dokimos. It means to be pertaining to being judged worthy on the basis of testing, or considered good regarding as worthy. For it is not the person who commends himself who is considered worthy, but the person whom the Lord commends, as taught in 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 18. Did you know that when he is approved, did you know that's the same word that's used in 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15? Be diligent or study to present yourself approved to God, a worker who does not need to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. That we are approved before God. Because He's the only one really that we need to worry about pleasing, is the Lord. And like everything else, it's true when it comes to our behavior and attitude during trials that we need to please and be approved of God. Because we can easily become jaded when things are not going right in our lives, can't we? When difficulty comes, we can almost like Naomi, book of Ruth, we can become bitter. It is living life before God with the goal and the hope of pleasing Him, pleasing the Lord. How do we know when we've been approved, when we have been tried enough? I think that's an important question because it is important and it's valid for us to ask, when will we know that the suffering will be over? Because you might need to hear this, that it's not always going to be the way it is. As the old gospel song says, it's not always going to rain. There is a brighter day coming. When it comes to trials and tribulations, we need to understand that there is an end in sight. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 10, and after you have suffered a little while, the God of all grace, who has called you to His eternal glory in Christ, will Himself restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish you. So when will we know when we've been approved by God in regards to our attitude and behavior in our trials? When we realize that God is not out to get us. That God is not your enemy. Some people try to blame God for all of the difficulties in their life. Let no man say when he's tempted, I'm tempted of God. God doesn't tempt anybody. But Peter said in 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 12, Beloved, do not be surprised at the fiery trial when it comes upon you to test you as though something strange were happening to you. You know that there are people within Christ Church throughout the course of time, and maybe today, that when difficulty comes to them, they may say, wait a minute, I'm a Christian. I didn't think that I was supposed to have any more problems anymore. I didn't think I was supposed to have health situations. I didn't think that I was supposed to become discouraged or even depressed. Peter said, don't be surprised when these difficulties come, as though something strange were happening to you. Sometimes God uses difficulties to hone in to our strength.